This video is going to be about how to properly set yourself up for a successful wholesale business on Amazon. So what is up, guys? Thanks for checking out this video. If you want even more Amazon wholesale content daily, be sure to follow me on Instagram at WatchMeAmazon. I got a ton of cool stuff going on there, but today we're going to be focusing on probably the most important thing when considering starting a wholesale business on Amazon. And that is exactly what you need to do first to set your business up for maximum success. So first off, what is a wholesale business model on Amazon? It's basically when you sell popular brand name products that you have the ability to reorder time and time again. And you have the ability to reorder these products because you're buying them either directly from a brand or from a wholesaler. That's why it's called wholesale. And one of the questions I get asked the most is, how can I open accounts with these distributors? Most of them turn me down and refuse to sell to just Amazon sellers. And the answer to that question is pretty straightforward. In a wholesale business in 2018, you have to become more than just an Amazon seller. And while there are certainly some vendors that will sell to you regardless of who you are, the quality accounts, the brands that you really want to do business with, they're gonna make you jump through some hoops before they do business with you. So building a wholesale business is more closely related to building a real actual business than some of the other types of Amazon business models. And that's why wholesale is not for everyone. It's not a passive income. It's not really work from home. It's not like just buying and flipping things as you would in an online arbitrage or retail arbitrage model. Much like starting a retail business, there is a certain amount of groundwork and investment and foundation that needs to be set up before you even open your doors. You have to, build a store first, so to speak, before you can open it to the public and actually have a big business. So one of the ways I like to look at it is levels. There are definitely levels to a wholesale business. And what you're basically trying to do is build different levels of legitimacy into your business. And just like there are different levels of distributors, starting with the ones who will do business with anybody, all the way up to the ones that are, super exclusive and hard to get accounts with, the more legitimate your company becomes, the more success you will have at landing those harder to get accounts. And the harder to get an account is, the higher up the level it is, the more profitable and fruitful that account is going to be for you. So what exactly do I mean when I say make your company more legitimate? Companies don't want to work with independent resellers. Companies want to work with other companies. So number one, for starters, you need to become a real company. You won't get very far in this business working on an individual basis. You need to incorporate, you need to establish, some type of a professional business entity, whether it's an S Corp, a C Corp, an LLC. Speak to an accountant, figure out which option makes the most sense for you and start a real company. The second thing you can do to be more legitimate is to get a business license from your state. And once you have both of these things, a company and a business license, congratulations, you now have made it to level one of the things you need for starting a wholesale business, the things you need to do first. And this is the absolute bare minimum, bottom level that anyone should start with. Quick tip that I can give you guys right off the bat is name your company something that pertains to the kind of business you're going to do. Don't name it something stupid like Larry's e-commerce business or Larry Incorporated. If you're going to go after a certain niche, give it a name that vendors will understand right away what it is you do. So if you're going to go after, the beauty category, it should be something like, Salon Beauty Inc., Health and Beauty Center. For grocery, it can be, Fresh Market Incorporated or New York Gourmet, Healthy Supplements Inc., Brooklyn Games and Electronics, Paradise Sports, whatever it is, just things that will make, some type of sense for a vendor to want to work with you. So now that you got that, congrats again, you're at least a real company. With just those two things, it is definitely possible to open your first wholesale accounts and definitely possible to find some decent products. But the next thing you can do to make your business a little bit more legitimate is to have a business address. So companies won't take you seriously and won't ship to your house. There are definitely some companies who will, but these are the type of companies who basically will sell to anyone. So get above the pack, move to the next level, and get a business address that is not your house. The next thing that you can do to be more legitimate than a company with a business address is to be a company with a business address and a website. So there are definitely wholesalers who will not work with you if you don't have a website in 2018. When I first started selling on Amazon, I didn't have a website. And because all I was at the time was just a corp, a lot of brands did not want to sell to me. So what I did was I reached out to one of my friends who owned the pharmacy, and owning a pharmacy is way up on the levels list. If you own a pharmacy, you can pretty much get an account with any brand in that niche. So I would open accounts through them, through the pharmacy, buy products, and pay them a commission on top of every single order. But after I was doing that for a while, I realized that if I had my own websites, some of these brands would definitely sell to me. So that's the next step. Build a website. It can be, just a basic website, kind of like a landing page for your business, who you are, where you are, what you do. Another quick tip that I can give you is it's always going to be better when you're contacting a vendor to contact them from a professional email address from your website. Like, it's way more professional to email Samsung from, Larry at New York Electronics than it is to email them from, Larry69 at Yahoo. So now that you have a website, you'll definitely have access to a decent amount of vendors. You can definitely do some wholesale business, can definitely find some products to sell. But what is the next step? How do you keep going? How do you legitimize further? The next step from building a website is building an e-commerce website. And what I mean is fully functioning, professional looking website with a full catalog of products. So legit website that you can browse, put stuff in your cart, check out, make a purchase. And speaking about levels, the better your website looks, like the more legit it is, the more success you're going to have with opening wholesale accounts. So what I would recommend is, if you're going up the level list, is a niche website. So if you're like going after home and kitchen brands, I would make a website focusing on those kind of products. I would say at least 100 or so plus products, but the more the merrier, many different brands, and just the more legit it looks, the more you can impress yourself upon these different vendors. So if you guys notice, we're going from, basically a shell corp up the ranks to a legit e-commerce company with a legit business address. What is next? How do you continue to make your company more and more legit, increasing your odds at landing some of the top vendors out there? So for me, it was multiple websites, right? So one website, very nice. 4 websites, obviously much nicer. And since I sell on a bunch of categories on Amazon, we do everything from electronics to toys to beauty, grocery. The next logical step for me was to build multiple e-commerce websites. I didn't think that I was going to have much luck opening a high-end beauty brand as an account using my grocery website. So I wanted to go ahead and build different websites for different categories. So this put me in a pretty good position as far as being set up for wholesale. I have nice websites, I have a business address, a warehouse, we look like a big e-commerce brand that does a lot of business, and I am way more likely to open accounts with quality brands than someone who doesn't have all of these things. So if you get to this level, you're definitely in a great position to build a huge wholesale business on Amazon. So question is, what's next? You're doing a lot of business, you want to scale. What is the next level above this one? So what it is that I noticed was there are some brands that are so exclusive, they will only deal with you if you have an actual brick and mortar store. So in the beginning, when I started selling on Amazon, I used to work for a guy who owned a beauty salon and an optical store. And this guy would have accounts with the top beauty brands and the top eyewear brands. And these were accounts that if I wanted to get them, even with a website, I just wasn't able to open these accounts. Some beauty brands, they're only going to want to sell to a salon. Some health food brands will only want to sell to an actual physical grocery store. So what I went ahead and did was partner with people I knew in my life who had retail stores. And like I said before, I used those retail stores to open accounts with vendors I otherwise would not be able to open accounts with. There was, electronic stores, pharmacies, opticals, grocery stores. There was a health spa, and I would pay these people a commission, usually like 5 to 10% per every order that I would do. Definitely some drawbacks to these types of partnerships. Adding 5% on top of your price would definitely kill some margin. You might not have access to invoices in your business name should you ever need them for Amazon. But the plus side is I would have access to super exclusive stuff that you need an underlying business to buy. And since most people don't own a physical salon, there's going to be way less competition on selling those products. So all of this is, honestly, much more, way more than anyone will ever need to do a wholesale business. I think with a solid setup alone and just good websites, you have the potential to build a very large business on Amazon. Myself, with all the stuff I mentioned, I was able to build a 8-figure Amazon business in just about 5 years. So, it's really more than enough. But let's talk about some of the super advanced, not for beginners, way out there, next level type of stuff to grow the businesses. So I realized that I was spending about 6 figures a year on all these commissions to my retail partners. And at that point, it was going to be cheaper for me to open my own store than it would for me to keep paying these guys their commissions. And opening a retail store is not for everyone. There is a lot of work and a lot of thought that goes into it. But if you thought it through, a retail store can be a very powerful advantage in an Amazon wholesale business. Logically after that, the next level up from owning a retail store, just like with our websites, it's owning multiple retail stores, all niche stores, all opened with the goal in mind of getting getting you business that you otherwise wouldn't be able to get without these stores. And at this point, if you own multiple websites, with multiple storefronts, a warehouse, there is virtually no account that you will not be able to open. That's like the super high-end level 9 type stuff. And if you have all of these things at your disposal, the sky is pretty much the limit. And really the only way I would take that from a level 9 to a level 10 is to create like a monster Amazon consulting company. It can be like an umbrella company that owns all your websites, your stores, your e-com business, and on its website, you can feature all the things you do, right? Your distribution channels, all the Amazon services and value propositions that you can provide to these brands in exchange for selling their products on Amazon. So for me, that would be like the pinnacle level 10 maxed out super wholesale business model. And really the only way that I would think to make that better would be if you can find a space to have multiple storefronts and your warehouse all in the same location under one roof, so it's not like spread out everywhere. So those are pretty much all the levels of a proper wholesale setup on Amazon. And the most important thing that you guys should keep in mind is your success is going to come from how you run the business and what you do with the setup, and not just the actual setup itself. And just as in any real business, hard work, being smart, dedication is always going to be the most important thing, the most important factor that's going to determine your success. So that's it, guys. Hope you liked this video. If you liked it, if you learned something from it, got some value from it, please like it, please share it, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and follow me on Instagram at WatchMeAmazon. Peace.